Well, hello, my friends. I'm so excited to be here with Heather Kirk. She is the executive director for Santa Monica. Heather, thank you so much for joining me today. Good to see you again.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
So, let's first talk about Santa Monica. I know you've got a spring fundraiser coming up in April, but let's talk about, just about the organization and who you serve.
Yeah, so Santa Monica was founded in 1972, so we're actually celebrating our 50th anniversary this year, where our population is really adult women with substance use, mental health, and trauma. A few of our programs do allow for the women to have their children, so we have 4 programs total nowadays. So if they're under our umbrella of care from start to finish, they're with us for about 2 years.
Okay. Well, and then let's look at that 50-year anniversary because, I know about the organization, but looking back 50 years ago, I mean, things have had to have changed. And also the needs of women have changed in some respect. Can you speak a little bit to that?
Absolutely. I think we certainly acknowledge that we're not serving the same woman that we served in 1972. What we're seeing today is more complexity with their needs and their life experiences. The women today are oftentimes third generation. So these are women whose mothers and grandmothers suffered from poverty, lack of education, lack of health care, domestic violence, and in turn there's substance use, trauma, and mental health. So we're definitely dealing with a more complex woman today, but we're also dealing with a more resilient woman today. And I think oftentimes we don't give them the credit for being as strong as they are to have survived everything that they have.
Yeah. And I mean, let's just kind of take looking at 2022. I mean, how many women did you serve like individually over in 2022?
Sure. Across our 4 programs, it's in the area of a little over 100 women. If they go through the program from start to finish, they're with us for about 2 years. So
Okay.
while our programs are all long-term residential and maybe we don't have as much turnover, the women that we do serve are really getting that quality long-term care that they need to sustain recovery.
Yeah. Well, then let's then talk about your fundraiser coming up in on April 22nd. So tell me a little bit about that and how people can get involved. Let's just talk about the fundraiser in general, and then we'll talk about how people can buy.
Sure, we're really excited. Of course, like many agencies, we kind of had a hiatus with our fundraisers due to the pandemic. So this is our first year back in 3 years. Super excited. So it's on Saturday, April 22nd from 10 to 1. It'll be at the Scott Conference Center. We'll do a brunch, a wonderful breakfast brunch. The highlight is always the testimonial from one of our alumni. We also have a Piccadilly auction and a silent auction as well.
And so people can buy. So it's from I'm sorry, it's from 10 until 1. And then so people can buy tickets and kind of what is it a luncheon? Is it a talk a little bit more about that?
So we're gonna do a breakfast buffet. So
Okay.
we're looking at it more as a brunch. We would expect people to come in and be there around 10. We'll have the buffet at 10:30, followed by that very moving testimonial, and then
Yeah.
the silent auction and the Piccadilly auction. One of the things that makes our event a little bit different than everyone else's is if you host a table, you get to decorate it in whatever theme you like. So lots of
Okay.
creativity. And then we vote for best dressed table, and the host would win a gift for having such a creative table.
Okay. And so how much is it to sponsor a table?
Sure, it's $200 for a table, which hosts 8 seats, so $25 a piece. And we do individual seats as well if you don't want to do a whole table.
Well, and then okay, I'm gonna take this a little bit further. So, like, what are the themes? I mean, is this the first time you've done this, or have you done this in the?
This is actually our 9th annual fundraiser again, except for the hiatus. So this is our
Okay.
9th event, and we've had everything from very women empowering themes to like candy and lemonade stands. Really, a lot of creativity with the people who choose to do a decoration in their table. So we're really excited to see what comes up this year.
Yeah, well, I'm excited too. So I guess I'm actually speaking out to all the viewers is like, yeah, for $200 for the entire table, you can decorate it and get creative. And yeah, and this all goes back to Santa Monica and helping the women that you serve. So what yeah, I mean, to me it's a no-brainer. So I'm just gonna say that. Um, and let's talk a little bit also, if people can't attend the event and can't sponsor a table, how can people help Santa Monica?
Sure, we still have a lot of ways. I mean, one of the most inexpensive ways is just advocacy and remembering who we are and what we do and that we're here to help to make sure that message gets out to the women in the community. But also, we have a donate tab on our website that you can donate one time, or you can do like a recurring, or you can even do a like roundup. If you purchase something in the month, then you can round it up and it goes to Santa Monica. We also find that a lot of our women are in need of clothing, shoes, toiletries, and then always we do have apartments that we fully furnish, so household items,
Okay.
anything from pots and pans to decor is always needed.
Yeah. Well, Heather, I mean, any final things you want to say? And did we the Piccadilly auction, that's different than sponsoring the tables. So I just want to make sure I ask you about that before I let you go.
Yeah, the Piccadilly auction again is a little bit unique. So what we do is we have what we call a wishing well on each table. So it's a bucket. We're gonna have an item and say the bid price is $1. If you feel you can risk losing $1, you put $1 in the wishing well, and then we draw numbers. And if we hit your number, then you're the one that wins that gift. So what we find is, most people can afford to throw $1 in the bucket, and if all 300 people say do that, then that's a pretty good return on our investment for that gift card.
Yeah, no, no, absolutely. Okay. Well, I'm excited for this event coming up on April 22nd. That's a Saturday. And again, encourage everybody watching this, do you want to sponsor a table? Do you want to get creative? It's only $200. And but there are so many other ways to support what you're doing, Heather, and Santa Monica. And I just really appreciate the organization. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
And folks, don't go away. We'll be right back. Well, hello, my friends. I'm excited to be here with Megan Gifford. She is the president of Conceive, Nebraska, and also Kassandra Mayo, the director of communications. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Well, Megan, let's start first with you. What is Conceive, Nebraska, for those who may not be familiar with the organization?
So Conceive Nebraska is a nonprofit that is based in Omaha, Nebraska. However, we provide resources and support to those in all of Nebraska as well as parts of Iowa. And we are branching out into some other Midwestern states as well. So we provide supports, resources, advocacy, awareness, information, anything dealing with infertility and family building services. So a lot of our supports and resources are free. That's our main goal, is to help in those areas that we can, because as we know, infertility treatments and family building processes can be very expensive. So we're trying to make other information and stuff free where we can.
When was the organization founded? When did it start?
It was founded in 2010, so we are going on our 13th year of being an organization.
Okay. And are you the founder of it or?
No, I am not the founder. The founder has actually moved on to other various
Okay.
more legislative-based advocacy stuff within infertility and family building options. And so we have kind of grown and moved on. We are a completely volunteer-based board. So we have quite a few different board members with different stories revolving around infertility as
Yeah.
well.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, a very important topic, and so many people deal with it. So so thank you for what you do for all of those out there who need your services. There's a walk coming up called Walk for Hope on April 22nd. I almost said February, and we're past February, April 22nd. And so Cassandra, why don't you tell us a little bit about the walk? And have you had the walk before?
Yeah, so this is one of our annual events that
Great.
we've had for over 10 years now. It's at various locations around Omaha. However, we have recently settled at Turner Park in Midtown Crossing.
Okay.
They've been amazing and allowed us to host the walk there. So April 22nd is our walk, and you can get tickets on Eventbrite, and you can look for the link through our Facebook, social media pages, and stuff like that. But really, what it is, it's an opportunity for those in our community who are struggling with an infertility diagnosis, or when it comes to support somebody who is struggling. So the numbers right now tell us that 1 in 8 struggle with infertility. So we know that a lot of people in our community are dealing with this.
Yeah.
So our walk of hope is just that. We are walking 8 laps in honor of those and hoping to provide hope, but also we'll have resource tables from different vendors around the community, specifically dealing with the services that we might need and stuff like that. So we're really excited. We have a color this year. It's orange, the color for infertility. So we ask everybody to wear orange and come walk those 8 laps with us. And then all the proceeds from the ticket sales actually go back to Conceive, Nebraska, so that we can buy the resources that we give out for free.
Okay. So people register on your website.
Yeah, they can go to our website or our Facebook page.
Okay.
We have a link to Eventbrite, which is selling
Okay.
the tickets for us. So they get tickets, they're $15. The first 100 people to sign up for the walk get a free drawstring bag. And so we're really excited because there's lots of information going into that bag. But then also, if you can't join us that day, but you want to be a part of it, because actually the very next day, April 23rd, is the national kickoff for the National Week of Infertility Awareness.
Okay.
So we're also hosting a virtual option for our ticket sales for $10. So you can join us anytime virtually, tag us, take a picture, all that kind of stuff. And again, those proceeds go to the free resources.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just curious, do you know approximately what the distance is, 8 laps around?
Oh my gosh. Well, we haven't really, no, we don't
Okay,
know. We
well,
can figure that out, right? And if you think about it, Midtown Crossing, Turner Park, it's also an uphill, downhill. So you're getting
Yep, it is.
out.
Yeah.
But we've had people out there with strollers, wheelchairs, all sorts of things. So you walk as many as you can. But
Yeah.
So.
It's a great location for a walk. I mean, that's one of my favorites. So, and like you said, whoever wants to can participate in this. And having that virtual component also just helps those who want to support, but maybe can't get down to the location, or they're out of town or whatnot. So, so let's talk a little bit. Let's go back, Megan. How can people support your organization? And let's start there. How can people support your organization above and beyond the walk?
So like Cassandra said, we do have a website. We also do have a Facebook page that people can join and share resources from as well. We also have a link on Share Omaha, which also
Mhm.
has a wish list that can provide
Okay.
other types of resources and stuff. And we have resources such as like books with information about PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, or endometriosis, which are two of the leading causes of infertility for those with uteruses. And we also have other resources and support type stuff, so more self-care type items on there that can help, that we can help provide self-care kits to those that are starting their infertility process as well.
And
Okay,
I think if I could just step in, a
sure.
really great way to support, obviously financial, but it's actually getting the word out, to be honest. Not a lot of people know that we've been around for 13 years,
Yeah.
because it's such still a taboo subject. And so just getting the word out really helps, because usually those who are going through infertility struggles do it quietly. There's
Yeah.
not a lot of support for them. So just getting the word out is huge for us. And then advocacy. Megan is amazing at advocacy. She can talk more about that as well. That helps us tremendously as well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we have about 30 seconds left. So and I know you said your website. So Megan, I'll kind of give us some final thoughts and words.
Just really quick to plug in on the advocacy stuff.
Mhm.
We do have a National Advocacy Day coming up on April 25th. So it is during that National Infertility Awareness Week. It is with our national organization, Resolve. So we will have information on our Facebook and website of how to sign up to participate in those advocacy days. And we meet with our federal House representatives and senators as well. And we also participate in the PCOS Challenge Awareness Advocacy Day, which was back in March earlier this month. So,
Okay. Well, I mean, great information. And thank you so much for taking the time and coming on and chatting with me, encouraging everybody to, first of all, visit your website, Facebook page, and register for Walk for Hope on Saturday. I'm looking at my notes over here, Saturday, April 22nd. So
I
thanks
would
again,
love to see
ladies.
it. Thank you guys so much.
yes, thank you so much.
And folks, we'll be right back. Well, hello, my friends. I am here with Lori Bechtold. She is the Chief Development Officer for CSI, Child Saving Institute. Lori, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I talked to James earlier a few months ago about the big, all the big happenings at CSI. And now here we are, not too far away from Cabaret, which is your annual event. And so we're going to be talking about that, which is coming up on April 14th, pretty quickly. And it's a little bit earlier in the year this time around.
We did. We moved it up. It normally was on Mother's Day weekend,
Yep.
and we moved it up about 3 weeks. And I believe going forward, we will keep, that April date.
Yeah.
Mother's Day, that weekend is so busy in that time of year with graduations and
Yep.
spring sports that it just made sense for it to move it earlier in the year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, I love this event. This event is so much fun. So let's talk a little bit. Let's talk about the honorary and event chairs this year.
Sure. We're honored to have Andrea and Adam Peterson as our honorary chairs. And our event co-chairs are Gina and Nick Patrick and Michelle and Nick Strawhecker.
Okay. And I know they've been involved with CSI, which is also one of the reasons where, why you invite people to be the honorary chairs and the co-chairs. Let's talk about the format of the evening, because this event, do you know how many years this event has
I
been?
believe we're celebrating 30 years this year.
Okay. All right. And that's huge, because I honestly can remember attending this event probably when it first started. And it was back at what was the Holiday Inn, which
Mhm.
so where's the location this year?
We were at Embassy Suites in La Vista.
Okay. Okay. And talk about the agenda or the format of
Sure.
the
So our events runs from about 6 to 9:30, and from 6 to 8 o'clock, we have a cocktail lounge. And as part of the cocktail lounge, we are moving from a sit-down dinner this year to food stations.
Okay.
It'd be a great time. That allows our guests to have more time together and just have a great atmosphere where people can walk around. We have a photo booth that will be fun for people to jump in and have some memories to take home from the evening. And then at 8 o'clock, we start a brief program where we do Fill the Heart, where we raise money to support CSI's mission. And then we follow it by our comedian, who is Brett Ernst.
Okay.
And if you're a Cobra Kai fan, he plays Louis LaRusso on Cobra Kai.
Okay.
He's a 25-year veteran in the comedy world, and he likes to talk about real life experiences and puts a funny twist on it.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I for CSI the Cabaret, you've always had. You've had some pretty amazing comedians over the years grace the stages of this event, and that really truly is just to be able to show up, support the mission, connect with people, and then just laugh, which we all need that,
It is. You're right.
especially now. So how can people buy tickets and give us all that good information?
Sure. We still have table sponsorships available. And we also have tickets. We have 2 ticket price levels. One's a $250 individual ticket, and we have a $350 patron ticket. And you can either call CSI at 402-553-6000, or they can be purchased online at childsaving.org.
And I'm glancing over this way because I am on your website, and there's a lot of great information there, including the info about the event. And let me go back to that real quick. Yeah, so again, let's talk about the mission. Let's just talk a little bit about the mission of CSI, and this event raises funds for a really important organization and the families you serve. So let's just talk briefly about that.
Sure. CSI has been in existence. We're celebrating our 131st year this year. And our mission is responding to the cry of a child. We have 16 different programs where we support young children, teens, young adults, and families. And our services range from early childhood education to pediatric and adolescent therapy services, youth emergency shelter. We work with children in the foster care system. We have an emergency shelter where we house young men, teenage men, as they make a transition to their next stop in life. And we serve about 3,000 families annually, and want to be able to continue what we do on a daily basis.
Yeah, such important work. So again, this is just, one of the events that you have every year. So again, Cabaret 2023, laughing so kids know love.
Yes.
And I love that. And Friday, April 14th, and encourage everybody to come out. Again, this is one of my favorite events, and really is, you're raising funds, you're connecting, and then you're also just being able to enjoy and have a great comedian, which is so much fun. So
it's a night of true laughter and fun.
Yeah. All right, Lori, thank you so much for joining me today, and encourage everybody to go to childsaving.org and find out more about this event and also about the organization itself. So just appreciate all you do for the community. Lori, thanks again.
Thanks, Dee. Truly appreciate it.